Hello everyone, I'm Dawn. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for visiting with me today. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel, The Cutting Board. We do all kinds of things here. We do true crime, we do chit chats, vlogs, food content, DIYs, hauls, product reviews, general discussion, and most importantly, at least to me, Disney content. So, yeah, but the clips I'm going to share with you today I got from Conspiracy's video, so I just wanted to make sure that y'all knew where I got it. So anyway, I wanted to discuss this.
And so what I want going forward is people to leave me the fuck alone. I'm not gonna post on social media. I'm not gonna do any more interviews or TV shows. Y'all got what y'all want. You got what you want, so leave me alone. Y'all want Nick out of prison? Well, then go fight for it. But leave me alone. I've done my time. Like, it's not fair to hound someone that, sure, I should have lived a quiet life when I got out. You know what? You're damn right I should have.
Everything she said prior to this was just her harping on, and it was just droning on and on. She went on for the longest time about her show not being renewed for a third season, and about how she just doesn't want a third season, like it was her idea, when we all know it was because of poor ratings and Lifetime didn't want her anymore. She is trying to sell the story like it's her idea. She doesn't want another show. She just wants to live a private, quiet life. I personally don't believe a thing she says. I don't believe that for a second. She wants to be embraced by society, and society is not embracing her. She thought that she was going to come out of prison and be a darling, and that everyone was going to love her, and that people weren't going to catch on, and that everything was going to be great and wonderful, and she was going to be the superstar. She was going to be a hero of some sort, and that's not really what happened. That's not what happened for her, because people saw through the lies. She is a liar. You do know that, don't you? You do know that. Of course you do. Her pride won't let her just accept the show isn't being renewed because the novelty of Gypsy Rose wore off after season 1. And season 2 was just, I don't know why they even bothered, but maybe just an attempt. But no, there's not going to be a season 3 because she is boring. And I would love to see a show about her if it's her sitting down and doing a long form interview telling the entire truth about everything. About, maybe someone saying, okay, what about this and what about that? And she says, well, okay, I'm going to tell you the truth, and then actually spill the whole entire truth no matter what. So she wants to be left the F alone. First of all, that's not true. She wants people that adore her to give her attention, but she doesn't want to be called out on her lies and her manipulation and her BS. She can't handle that. And I know a lot of people will be happy if she truly just goes away and stops posting on social media. That won't make me happy. It won't. I could care less about her social media. It won't make me happy at all. I don't give a damn about her social media. She can post all she wants. She can post as little as she wants. She doesn't ever have to post again. I don't care. I want a murderer to do adequate time for the crime she committed. She said she did her time. No, boo-boo, no. She did not do her time. She did the time she was sentenced to. She did not do her time. She should have gotten the maximum penalty for what she did. And, maybe a lot of people don't believe it, but maybe, that maybe she didn't do the act, but it would not have happened without her. She supplied the weapon. She supplied the story. She supplied the plan. It was all her idea from soup to nuts. Her manipulation is mind-boggling. And because she got away with that manipulation, and you've seen in her prison emails the manipulation continue with people she was corresponding with, she is a manipulator and a liar and a terrible human being. And it's going to continue as long as she gets away with it. And guess what? Being surrounded by a bunch of sycophants, she's going to continue to get away with that manipulation. This is not a good person. This is not a new thing for her. She's a murderer. It was not self-defense. It was not to get away from an ABUSIVE parent. It was because she's a murderer. She did that. She is responsible for that crime. 8 years in prison for that disgusting act is nothing. It's a slap on the wrist that was, that wasn't doing time. That was not doing time. She wants to be left the F alone. Tell the whole truth, Gypsy. Quit lying to everyone, Gypsy.
And shit gets leaked, and that's not by my friends, but all these content creators end up finding something that I'm doing and then make content about it. It's not like I'm trying to stay relevant. I'm doing this live right now so I could explain everything to you.
You did that live for ass pats. That's why you did that live. That's why you did that live, Gypsy. And you say it's not your friends that leak things about you. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Because content creators are finding out from someone. I've heard things. Maybe you are leaking the information yourself so that people continue to talk about you. Maybe that's a possibility. I don't buy anything that she says. I don't. She is so full of herself. There is no way she will be able to handle not seeing herself on the internet. I mean, maybe she will go away, but like I said, that's not what I want. I don't even care about that. I want her to be held fully accountable for her part in her crime. She has not been held fully accountable, not adequately. She was not given an adequate prison sentence. She's never going back to prison. We might as well just accept that and make peace with it. But something needs to be done about this. This is atrocious. This is a miscarriage of justice. This is just, I've never been like a huge Nick supporter per se, but I don't believe that it's fair that he's doing life in prison without the possibility of parole. And she's sitting pretty in her little house with her baby and her paints playing beard to Ken. She committed murder. She did 8 years in prison for murder. It's disgusting.
I don't want to be a public figure. And I'm not required to advocate. It's not that I don't care about people.
No, you're not required to advocate. You absolutely are not required to advocate. You wouldn't be good at it anyway. I mean, you weren't even required to serve an appropriate prison sentence for your crime, the most heinous crime one can commit. Why would you be required to do anything else?
In me, the savior of the world. And I feel like that was put upon me when I got out. And I misspoke, saying I want to be an advocate. I want to help people because it's like I have a good heart and I do want to help people.
Yeah, and you really can't advocate for something you never actually experienced. Well, you can. I've advocated for things that didn't personally affect me, but for Munchausen by proxy, it's really something you have to truly experience to knowledgeably advocate for or against. Since that wasn't the problem, you can't advocate for victims of that. You can't. Now let's hear more about how beat up she feels.
And I felt like I came out, I spoke, and I did what I could to try to be perfect for everyone. And all I ever got was invalidation. And so now I'm just done.
Oh, you guys, you're making her feel bad. She only victimized somebody by having them murdered, and further victimized her throughout the years by making sure that everyone knew what a horrible woman she was. And then continues to victimize all her victims still. Because make no mistake, she has multiple victims. She does. So yes, Gypsy Rose, I get it. You want to be left the F alone. And she says we got what we wanted. She's off the internet, all while she's on a live on the internet telling us she wants to be left alone. But I said, that's not what I want. Me personally, I don't care if she produces content. My issue with her is the utter lack of responsibility. She needs to admit the truth, the whole truth. She needs to put to rest all the lies and tell the true story. She needs to, at the very minimum, apologize to Nicholas for what she has done to him and all the filthy things she has said about him. Yes, he is responsible for his own actions. And no, autism is not an excuse. Although I feel like some people think it is an excuse, it's not. But she manipulated him with hardcore tactics, and she needs to own it and be truly apologetic for her role. We want her to pay for her crime. 8 years for murder is an insult to her victim, and it's an insult to survivors. You got away with murder, Gypsy. That's the problem. I don't understand why you don't understand that's what we have a problem with. You got away with murder, and now you have a baby. You're a murderer with a baby. That's crazy. You're a murderer that did less time than people who are in prison for far lesser offenses, while your co-defendant is serving life without the possibility of parole. What you did is barely no different than if you killed Dee Dee yourself, which, some people think you had more of an active role in that. But the point is, your mother would not have been murdered if it was not for you, Gypsy. You did this. You did. And you can blame Nicholas and, claim he manipulated you, but we all know the truth. We want you to admit it. We see right through you. Gypsy wants content creators to feel some kind of responsibility for how she feels, yet she takes no responsibility whatsoever for committing murder. She claims that she, has taken accountability. She claims responsibility, but she's just saying the words while she lets this lie linger. But you know what happens? And this probably won't happen with Gypsy because you have to have a conscience. You have to have a soul for this to happen. But what would happen for someone with a conscience is these lies, this repulsive behavior, what she did, it would haunt her forever if she had a conscience at the very core of her soul until she falls completely apart and or confesses the entire truth, which we know that Gypsy will never do. But for someone with an actual soul, someone with an actual conscience, they would eventually fall apart from this. It would destroy them. She wants peace. She wants to be left the F alone. I don't think murderers who got a slap on the wrist should be left the F alone. She doesn't own what she did. She doesn't even care about what she did. She doesn't care about the people she's hurt. She hurt so many with what she did, and I don't feel the least bit sorry for her. I feel sorry for that baby. I'm worried about that baby. But anyway, that's it for this video. I'm going to go now. I know I haven't been covering Gypsy that much, but there really isn't that much to say, and my whole channel is not about Gypsy. I know that I've lost subscribers because I make other videos other than Gypsy content, but I never claimed to be a Gypsy Rose channel. I never claimed that at all. I just cover her from time to time. I'm honest in every video that I do. I do multiple things on this channel. I actually got a notice today from YouTube that today is my 9th anniversary. Happy anniversary to me, having a channel. And I've done a lot over those 9 years. So now my channel is not all Gypsy Rose. That just is not a sustainable way to run your channel. Anyway, because she's eventually going to just go away and it's going to be over. So anyway, I'm going to go now, but thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to everyone later. Bye-bye.